a very good morning from wherever you're watching us from, and welcome to the Relationship Talk Show with me, Sylvia Wanja. Now, I trust and hope that you've had a beautiful, lovely night, and you've woken up this morning and you're healthy. You need to start with Thanksgiving before even you get started with the activities that you have planned for the day, and pray that God will go ahead of you, will proceed before you, and He will order your steps even as you go along the plans that you have for today. Now, today being the 29th of April 2025, it's another amazing time. Happy Vindania Relationship Talk Show. We get the chance to learn so much. We get the chance for us to grow, to be nurtured with knowledge that focuses on our relationships. It's important for us to form healthy relationships with those around us, whether be it at work, be it at home, the parent-child relationships, the romantic relationships, the work relationships, the everyday interactions. Jutulisema, relationships are the basic foundation of human interaction, and we need to learn how to interact with people in a good way, okay? And if you guys remember, as we started the year, we talked about forming healthy relationships as one of the resolutions that we are working on this year, and we are doing it in the right way. Hapa ndani ya the Relationship Talk Show. So I'm hoping that all these things that we have been learning, si kusoma tu na kuziweka kando, no, we implement them in our everyday lives so that we can be able to flourish. Because if the relationships that you're having, they're not healthy, they're going to affect you one way or another. You won't be as productive as you're meant to be. So make sure that you are following through with these conversations. You're noting down a thing or two. Now, usiseme, oh, iye ni husu saizi, ati let's say maybe we are talking about parenthood, unajambia, mi bado sijavuka huo mpaka. There's a time that's coming, okay, that you'll need to cross over and go to that particular side. So, si ukuwe na knowledge mapema so that you can build on it. Ndo ukifika hiyo wakati, uko na already enough knowledge and insight that will help you, okay? Amazing. So maybe we can have a quick run through of what we're going to be discussing today. We're going to have a topic ambayo imeleta utata sana pale nyumbani, everywhere in the street. The society in general has an issue with this. Now, we know that how our parents were raised and how we were raised and how we are going to raise our children, kuna kuangana differences, ama kuna disparities. And tunajua kuhusu the traditional kind of raising children, ile ya kiboko, ile ya baba akiingia ni simba, kila mtu anaenda anajificha kwa bedroom ama wherever. But now, there's a new form, there are new forms of parenting ambazo zimeingia, and we can see it sana with the younger generation, the millennials and the Gen Z, how they are raising their kids. It's different from how we were raised by our parents. Now, we want to focus on that today. We want to focus on the modern parenting style. Ile ya we sit, we negotiate. Kuna wazazi wengine ama wazazi wetu wanaona hiyo ni kudekeza mtoto sana, unamharibu. But sasa mtoto wa saizi unaweza sema ni kumtandika, the corporal punishment, the next moment commit suicide. So we can tell that there's a difference, there's something happening, there's a generational gap that is there, and our parents are trying to bridge it by introducing a modern form of parenting. But now, here's the issue. With this modern form of parenting, most people in the society, especially the older generation, are feel, this kind of parenting kidogo, munaharibu mtoto. I'm raised in the right way, you're ruining things. So we're going to focus on that. So after that, we're going to have the relation tips, and then we're going to have Did You Know, and then we're going to have beautiful African songs. Remember, today is an African Tuesday. So if you have any song that you would like us to play right here, make sure that you send it our way, and you'll be getting a chance to listen to it live, okay? Amazing. So maybe we can pick the question of today, and the question that we're going to focus on today is, would you raise your children the same way you were raised? Would you raise your children the same way you were raised, okay? Would you raise your children the same way your parents raised you? Would you raise your children the same way that your parents raised you? A very amazing question that we are going to focus on today. Utuambie kwa maoni yako. Na ni sawa kama unaogopa kutaja jina yako, maybe italeta shida. It's okay, you can remain anonymous, but we will want to hear your side of the story, ama we will want to hear from you about this particular topic. Wewe venye ulilelewa na mzazi wako, would you raise your child in the same way? It doesn't matter whether you don't have a child right now. Maybe it's something that you're hoping for in the near future. So would you raise your children the same way that your parents raised you, okay? We're going to have an amazing time on that. Now, maybe before we can actually get started, there's a short story that I would like to share with us. A very important one. Inaweza kani kitu kidogo, but iko na very big, very bad repercussions, okay? So it's a story that happened within the past week, okay? Now the story goes like this. So kuna mtu alikuwa amejitayarisha asubuhi mapema sana kwenda kazini, okay? Na mahali ambapo alikuwa anaishi ni mtu ambaye ako na familia, so it's more of an estate, okay? So as they're leaving their house in the morning, aka notice kitu kwa neighbor. Aka notice nje ya gate ya neighbor kulikuwa na hearse. Kwa wale wanajua hearse ni ile gari ya kubeba maiti wakati ambapo wanaenda kuzika, okay? So akaona kuna hearse. And then just sasa this particular neighbor hakuwa na fence kwake, so you could see everything that's happening. Alafu shimo ilikuwa imechimbwa. So if you see shimo and you see hearse, unajua something is adding up. So akaenda na aka text kwa group ya estate, akauliza akamwambia ni kama kuna update hatujapata. So akaupdate hata akaambia wakati nilikuwa natoka nikienda kazi niliona hii na hii, okay? So everyone is like, oh, condolences mama so and so, condolences baba so and so, but sasa hakuwa online, so hawakuona all those condolences. So jioni kufika, the neighbors wakaamua, let us go see them, tuwape pole zetu. Unajua sasa if you see a hearse and you see shimo, unajua kwamba unafaa kwenda mpeane pole nini. So wakajitayarisha, wakashikana wakiwa wote na wakaenda kupeana pole kwa hiyo particular household ama kwa hiyo boma. So the moment they come, you know, just the mood is somber because, you know, it's someone who has passed on. So wamefika, the mood is somber, wako pole. So mama boma wako pole juu ya ako si tuliona hearse tukaona shimo. Akawambia no, that's not the case. Asa akaanza kuexplainia from that point, akawaelezea kwamba brother ya mama sasa anafanya kazi kwa hearse company, so alikuwa amekuja kuwasalimia, na hiyo shimo ambayo alikuwa amechimba ilikuwa shimo ya choo, okay? They were trying to build a latrine in the outside. What is this to teach us? Ya kwamba sometimes it's good to seek clarity and not to gossip. Sawa? If something involves a particular person, approach kwanza ndo clarify situation. Kwa sasa watu wameshikana, wamechanga pesa, wameenda matanga, lakini wakati no one had passed on, it was just that a family member alikuwa amekuja kusalimiana, and at the same time a latrine was being built in that particular household. So it is important. Na hiyo ina border kidogo on gossiping. It's not right to gossip, okay? Seek clarification if you want clarification on something. Ama umeona kitu na kwako haiada hapa ama haimix. Before jumping into conclusion, just go seek clarity. Just sasa ona watu wameenda matanga mahali ambapo kuna happiness. So that is very, very important, and I thought it wise to share. I had the story somewhere, and it was funny at that time due to kisikiza, you know, the expectations that we had were completely zilikuwa in another place up until tukajua what was actually happening. So it is very, very important. Seek clarity in each and every situation so that usiende kufanya vitu kama hizo, okay? Amazing. So without further ado, let us get started. Tulisema leo tunaongea kuhusu modern parenting style. Let us get to know who is the guest that we have today, and then we can get started on this particular conversation. Let us get the guest profile.
Reverend Charles Musambai is a multifaceted leader serving at KAG Springs of Life Chapel in Gilgil. With a heart for ministry and a passion for helping others, he also works as a consulting, counseling psychologist and a trainer at KTTI, where he empowers individuals through professional and spiritual guidance. Married to Pastor Rachel Musambai, Reverend Charles is part of a dynamic ministry team that reflects their shared commitment of faith and service. Together, they have built a beautiful family embodying love, unity, and dedication to God's work. Known for his compassionate approach and ability to connect with people, Reverend Charles combines his expertise in psychology with his pastoral calling to address emotional, spiritual, and relational challenges. His ministry emphasizes healing, growth, and equipping individuals to live fulfilling Christ-centered lives. Through his leadership at Springs of Life Chapel and his professional contributions, Reverend Charles continues to make a meaningful impact on his congregation and the broader community. His life and work stands as a testament to his dedication to faith, family, and service. Reverend Charles Musambai is a multifaceted leader serving at KAG Springs of Life Chapel in Gilgil. With a heart for ministry and a passion for helping others, he also works as a consulting, counseling psychologist and a trainer at KTTI, where he empowers individuals through professional and spiritual guidance. Married to Pastor Rachel Musambai, Reverend Charles is part of a dynamic ministry team that reflects their shared commitment of faith and service. Together, they have built a beautiful family embodying love, unity, and dedication to God's work. Known for his compassionate approach and ability to connect with people, Reverend Charles combines his expertise in psychology with his pastoral calling to address emotional, spiritual, and relational challenges. His ministry emphasizes healing, growth, and equipping individuals to live fulfilling, Christ-centered lives. Through his leadership at Springs of Life Chapel and his professional contributions, Reverend Charles continues to make a meaningful impact on his congregation and the broader community. His life and work stands as a testament to his dedication to faith, family, and service.
Yes, amazing. Without further ado, MBCI family, I introduce you to none other than Reverend Charles. It's not the first time we've had him. He's, I would say, a resident here because we always love having him around because we get a chance to learn so much. Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm well.
It is amazing to have you here once again.
Great to have you, Sylvia.
Yes.
And thank you for having me. It has been a while.
Yes, it has been.
But we thank God for everything. I'm so happy for the invitation.
Yes.
And greetings from my wife.
Amazing.
She said hi to you and the whole crew.
Yeah.
We are so grateful for having us.
Wow.
Especially on this set on relationship. It's very educative. It's really touching lives.
Yeah, wow.
And thank you for allowing us to impact the generation and the people that God has put there for us.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Amazing.
Amen.
So today we're talking about the topic around modern parenting style.
Yes.
It's something that has been talked about in the society. You would hear people complain about how there has been a shift in the way the children are being raised back then and how they're being raised now.
True.
So maybe even as we start, we can discuss about the common types of parenting that are there or that people know. Inaweza kuwa mtu hajui jina yake, but they practice it. Maybe they can be able to put a name to the kind of parenting style that they use to raise their children.
I want to thank you because parenting is a key thing.
Yeah.
It is what makes the society to be what it is today. And I want to begin by saying that we will only parent the way we were parented. If you are poorly parented, the probability is that you will carry forward these characteristics, this behavior to your generation. And we need to understand that parenting is evolving very fast. Right from our traditional parenting to the current, what we have called the modern parenting. And so parenting is reality, and it cuts across. It cuts across, not from the religious institution, not from the people in urban areas. Remember, with the movement from rural to urban migration, it really brought this evolvement because we come to the urban area, we get new norms, new values, and through the process, we begin learning new things that we maybe at one point we didn't get to when we were in our rural areas. So you realize that this evolvement of parenting is taking a paradigm shift, especially with this generation of technology, modernization, and other things that comes with it. So as rightly as you have put it, parenting is a key role, and it's an issue in our generation of which we need to get to a point of now sitting down to evaluate njuga. Tuamue, how are we going to parent our generation? Because I bet with you, Sylvia, the way you was parented, you will find that coming in your generation as you parent your children. As I was parented by my dad and my mom, it is evolving, it's coming through. That sometimes when I'm dealing with my children, I tend to put in place what I learned, the way my parents dealt with me. Unfortunately, this through parenting, some parents were parenting their children through pressure. And as you have mentioned, there are several, according to psychologists, they have come up with several theories or types of parenting. One of it is authoritative parenting and authoritarian parenting. I will make a difference between the two. The authoritarian parenting, this is where the parent gives instructions and directions, and the children don't have a chance to question as to why.
They just do it.
That is authoritative. Those authoritarian parents, and that is how tradition was. Unaambiwa usikule kwa jirani lakini hauna chance ya kuuliza kwa nini.
Kwa nini? Ni usikule na hiyo story hapo.
Huendi shule fulani, utaenda shule fulani.
And that's the end
That's
of it.
it. That is being authoritarian. And through the process, many of our traditional training and parenting was authoritarian. And it led some people to be, in one hand, it helped us to be streamlined, to be just obedient, and the parents are the supreme authority. But now we come to the second parenting style, which is authoritative. Authoritative is you give a reason to why you are telling your child to do ABCD. And now when you are now working through authoritative parenting, children have a chance to also question. You have a time to socialize with your children. You are not that super fathers you mentioned. Ukisema ni hivyo, that is the end. In authoritative, it gives you a chance and you reason. And that is what is coming now to the current modern parenting, what we call permissive parenting. Now with permissiveness, now you get to a point where you don't control at all. You allow the children to do what they want. Unaanza kumwambia ni shauri yako. And that spills over now to what we call uninvolved parenting. They get to a point whereby mtoto usipofanya homework ni shauri yako. Masomo si mimi nilisoma yangu. Wewe usome yako. And at that moment you find this child ukikaa nje mpaka late shauri yako, maisha ni yako. That is now getting to an involved parent or neglective parenting. They neglect the children. So right from authoritarian, where we have just strict measures, and sometimes when we come to family, we call it leads to meshed family, where you don't take things out of the family. Na hii imefanya watu wengi, you realize they don't want even the extended family to come close to them. Because daddy alisema na ni hivyo.
That's the end of it.
And you know, this happens even today. When we grow up, kuna kitu wazazi walituambia. Maybe your dad alituambia or your mom alikuambia usiwahi kula kwa jirani. There are some people hata wakienda kwa marafiki zao, they don't eat. Hata wakipatiwa chakula, so kule hapana niko sawa, nako na njaa.
Lakini what they were taught.
What they were taught is now working through them even to adulthood. The probability ni kwamba that behavior of parenting can spill over now for them to work on their children and command their children. So these 4 ways has been working a lot in parenting, and that brings it to a point where now in family, especially in traditional parenting, we need to understand, because you mentioned about traditionally, the child was being brought up by the whole society.
True.
Grandparents, maybe extended family, neighbors. Remember huo msemo unasema mtoto ni wa jamii, si wako. In that sisi ungepatwa unafanya makosa,
unapigwa na jirani, alafu anakusema
na jirani anakusema kwa mzazi,
unatandikwa tena
na atakusema kwa mwalimu,
utandikwe tena.
But today in modern parenting, it is me and my children and my child and my wife. And sometimes it is not even me and my children and my wife. It is me and my child. My wife and her child. It is so unfortunate.
You split the children.
Exactly, because the way I deal with my boy,
it's different.
Is different with the way my wife will deal with my boy. The way I deal with my girl, it is so different with my wife, the way she will deal with my girl. And that is the challenge of modern parenting. Because it has got to a point whereby now people are looking, where are we coming from? Where huyu mtoto aliitwa nani? Alinemiwa nani? In different cultures. And this is now spilling over when these children now get to begin parenting. They have a gap. With this evolvement, with modernization, it is just creating a big gap. And by 2050, we are going to have a whole different generation, and parenting may be a challenge to many of us. Yes.
people won't be able to catch up with the changes, and also they're uninvolved, especially I think that is what is happening in the current society with the introduction of smartphones, with the introduction of technology. Mtoto akisumbua kidogo, shika simu. Akikosea unamnyang'anya simu. Now that is the form of punishment. So they don't know about corporal punishment, they don't know about things like that. So maybe what is the place of technology and how it has influenced the way parents are now parenting their children?
Remember when we were growing up traditionally, technology was very minimal. But currently technology is everywhere. And even when you give an answer to your child or when you are parenting, many people are going through technology. And technology is it is a good thing. But are you aware, Sylvia, even in America or Europe and Asian countries and even Western countries, they are still, even in this time of modernization, they are bringing their children up in traditional way. Go to Asians, even here in Nakuru, just go and watch the way they bring up their children. Go to their schools. Unfortunately, Africa is absorbing and it's consuming a lot of technology than even the creators of the same.
What?
When you check in China, China, they have their own programs.
Yeah, true.
And when China have their own programs, you look at what they are sending in Africa. It's like the experimentation ground. And Africans, we are in Africa, we are so eager and hungry of technology. And it's actually to our own abuse and destroying our parenting styles. Because some of the toys that we are using, some of the technologies we are using here, the creators of the same are not using them in their countries. They are looking at the need in Africa, the way we are hungry, the way we are looking for it, the evolvement, the way we want to catch up with them. They are raising up us a generation of technology. Now the place of technology in parenting, it has led many parents to ignore and neglect their responsibility. They have stepped back, and that is where we talk of they have left their roles as a parent. Remember in the book of Proverbs, I think it's chapter number 22 verse 6, it speaks about bring up a child in a way that it's good, so that when they grow up, they will not leave it. I have just paraphrased it. Now, the way you bring up your child, that is how that child, when they grow up, they will bring up their own offsprings. Poor parenting will lead to poor generation. Destroyed norms and values of a society will lead to deteriorated norms and values of the society. So parenting is key. And now we are going to technology. Everything, including now recipes. Traditionally, ungeenda na shosho, ukae chini, akufundishe kutengeneza mkimo, ama kutengeneza kidheri, na ugali, atengeneze mrenda, akuonyeshe inapikwa hivi. Today, go to technology. They will just tap at a point on a tablet or a phone.
And they have the entire
everything, the menu, and they can prepare it. They don't care if it will look like the shosho's one. Ingeka kwa chungu for 2-3 days na haiharibiki, na ya leo ukipika leo kesho it is no more. So when you look at technology, it's bringing a different perspective of parenting because of the evolvement. But the reality is, it's good. It has its role. One, it is making people to learn more than what was there. It is giving the children, today's parents, to explore more opportunities of how to raise children. Number 3, it's giving them a chance to work and at the same time provide for their generation. So it has a positive side, but at the same time, it is taking away the responsibility of monitoring and evaluation of the child's development and growth. So you find that a parent is not able to evaluate. Mtoto amelala, alikula nini? Alikula blah 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 blah. Leo ameoga, They don't have time to check. But in traditional parenting, you realize that wazazi wengine, they just quitted their job just to take care of their children.
To be there.
And in traditional, even in roles and gender, gender-wise, in male factor was a provider, breadwinner. But today, everybody is running.
Everyone is a breadwinner.
In fact, tunakaa mahali tunasema wewe utanunua nini? Na mimi nitafanya nini? And now the life is going on. When our children see that, what do you expect of them when they now get into marriage? And you get to a point whereby these young people, when they get married, it becomes a struggle, especially when he gets in a relationship where the partner is not working, maybe the partner is not professional to that level. Inakuwa na issue, anamwambia si hata kwetu mama alikuwa analeta na baba analeta. Kwa nini wewe huwezi kuleta? Kazi yako ni kukula tu hapa kwa nyumba, mimi kwenda kufanya kazi, and it becomes an issue. Where does it begin? How we have parented them. So modernization and technology is playing a very central part in parenting, and we need just to wake up and see the pros and cons of the same as we parent our generation. Yes.
I've loved something that you have said about how the Western countries are bringing us these gadgets for experiments. And nilisikia a conversation somewhere where someone was sharing that the algorithm in Africa, when it comes to a particular app, TikTok specifically, and the algorithm in China is completely different.
Very different.
For us, ni entertainment to kucheka comedy, but in China the algorithm ni vitu za STEM, that is science, technology, engineering and mathematics. So that is the content they are consuming vis-a-vis us consuming content ya comedy pekeke. I'm not saying it's wrong, it's good to have that light moment, but you can see the disparity. Mbona algorithm yao ni vitu tu zenye zitawakuza, la sisi tu ni kushinda tu tukicheka. So none there's something amiss. At least kukuwe na balance kidogo. We try catch up, also learn even as we are having fun on this particular gadgets. Okay, amazing. So what would you say are some of the characteristics zenye zina define modern parenting in the 21st century?
You know, modern parenting is coming up as a way of, one, it is collaborative approach in bringing issues and dealing with issues. Even in the government, they have said before you, maybe you have a property you sell, niko na shamba nataka kuuza. Traditionally ni uamuzi ni wangu.
Yeah, I have to decide.
I decide. It is, I'm the head of the family, it is mine. But now, in modern parenting, we have to collaborate.
You have to
bring the children on board, bring your wife on board, bring your husband on board. Now, how does this play a key role? This hata kuhama. Ayo hata kuhama tu kutoka estate moja kwenda kwingine.
You have to come together and decide.
Please bring your children on board.
They have to be seated there on that table.
Yes, uambie sasa tumekaa hapa kwa miaka mitatu, imefika wakati sasa sisi tukaweze kuhama. Na watoto watakuuliza maswali. Na rafiki yangu Jedi atakuwa nitamuonanga aje. You have, now that brings collaborative as opposed to traditional. Daddy amesema kesho tunaenda mashamba na tunaenda kusomea shule fulani. You don't care whom you are leaving behind. So that is the bit about it with what we call modern parenting. And it has its own joy, especially on the other side. Number two, we have what we call flexibility and adaptability. People are now flexible in a family. They are very flexible. You can say, okay, I can forego this for my children. Mtoto anakuambia, daddy, unaenda job. Na leo ni Saturday. We need to go swimming. Are you flexible? Then you just make a call. But this flexibility is now affecting, especially those who have been parented modernly, by the way they are now going to be employed. I was sharing with a HR somewhere, and she was telling me, daktari mimi nashindwa. Kijana atijua amepitisha overtime, ametoka kazini saa 3, saa 8 usiku ananitumia text. Ananiambia, boss, kesho, si unajua jana nilitoka job saa 3. Kesho nitakuja saa 5 kukava hiyo masaa yangu. Flexibility and adaptability. And so this HR was telling me, as a psychologist, how can you deal with this?
Such a situation.
Because this is happening. So people are now adapting to things that previously you could not adapt. Sisi tulijua hata ukitokea job saa 5, saa 2 ukue job. Hiyo hakuna excuse. Na hakuna bosi ataelewa ulilala saa ngapi, ulifika kwako saa ngapi, umelala masaa mangapi. Wewe ufike job by saa 2, saa 1:30, you have to click in. But now with this modern parenting, anaweza amka asubuhi akwambie nimeresign.
And I am done.
because of that flexibility and adaptability. And that is why the companies are now running to catch up with it. They are now working with shifts. They are now working with hours. Number 3, technological education and integration. It is heavy. There is a very heavy use of technology in modern parenting. And when this is happening, you find people are now bringing on board technology. Look at the children that are being parented with our maidens or house managers. Wanawekea cartoon na wanaenda stories zao.
Yeah, true. That is what is happening.
Na mtoto anacheza na cartoon mpaka analala.
Yeah.
Unakuja unashindwa mtoto kwa nini? Sasa mtoto ukifika kwa nyumba na simu, badala ya kukusalimia
anataka simu.
Anasalimia simu. So they are more attached with this technology
than they are,
and you find that this modern parenting, it is detaching people from relationships. They are now being attached to gadgets and what you have. And this is really affecting when they get in relationship now, because this is a relationship Tuesday, wanaanza kuangalia uko na nini, uko na phone yako ni ya pesa ngapi, unaishi wapi, umevalia aje. So because from parenting, that parenting moment, they were used to simu ya dad ni iko juu sana kuliko simu ya mom. So dad yake ingia, I'll make sure I have his phone. And when they grow through, they go to a school, laptop ya fulani, it's iko juu kuliko ingine. So they continue competing on that, and now that place of personal, interpersonal relationship becomes a vacuum.
There's an issue.
And that leads now with this technology and modernization, leading many people to be things-oriented as individual relationship-oriented. Actually, many people are walking through parenting styles that are leading them to be attached, not to love.
They're being that's another topic again altogether. Na ni topic ambayo we've covered it, but inauliziwa tena. So I'm thinking like it is really a big issue that needs to be talked about.
You know, Sylvia, the truth is that when people are attached to you, there is something they want you to fill in that gap. But they don't love you for who you are. They don't love me for who I am.
It's for what you give, not what they can get.
Exactly. Once they are through with what they want, they go for another one. And that is where the problem have come even in relationship. That is what has come even in churches. People come because I'm sick. Nikipona, sinipata chenye nilitaka.
Naondoka
naenda kutafuta kingine penye kuna kazi ama miujiza fulani. And people are now running on attachment. Why? Because modern parenting is teaching us to get things from people, from parents, from caregivers, as opposed to building relationship with them through love, through that commonness. And the last thing is about focus on the nuclear family. If you are not my nuclear family, you are nothing to me.
So I can walk all over you. You're not important to me.
And that is what is happening. There is a program in one of the secular TV stations I was watching. We always watch with my wife. And it came to a point one parent was, the young boy, alikuwa anauliza baba yake. Juu baba yake alikuwa ameenda akarudi. Sasa it's just acting. Lakini akamuuliza, dad, kwa nini unasema wewe ndiye familia yangu na mama na fulani? Kwa nini na guka na auntie? Akasema they are not part of us. What? And I told my wife, if we are watching with our children, what are we teaching them? We are telling them, modern parenting, it's about me, my wife, and my child.
The extended family.
Anyone else
is a stranger.
Doesn't matter. They are strangers, including Shosho, including Guka. And that is really affecting. Utaona sahi, the way our young people are talking to people of the age of their parents. You can see it clearly. The way they deal with their grandparents. Anasema, peleka huyu Gooks kwake. Anatuboa hapa. Hata hajui kutumia handkerchief.
What?
You get? Hata hajui mtu anatoanga viatu kabla ingie kwa nyumba. Why? Because modern parenting has taught the nuclear family that we are the only one. We are predominantly nuclear and no one else should come in our midst.
Hey, that means that there's a very, very big problem. A problem that needs to be addressed. Because now, if it gets to a point whereby you can't disregard, najua kuna kuangana hizo family wrangles, hapa na pale, whereby maybe the extended family is not in unity with, you know, the nuclear family, but you can't separate yourself from them. They're still part of the family.
Yes.
So, hey, yo na italeta shida.
And you know, we are sitting on a life bomb.
Yeah, it's going to explode.
Yes.
At any moment.
How many people visit cousins, nephews, nieces?
They no longer happen like as often as they used to. The get-togethers, the family gatherings, the
modern parenting.
It has resulted to that.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So modern parenting in Americana, it has brought a very big divide. In our everyday life, and tunaweza ignore, lakini ukiangalia, now that we're actually going deeper into it, we can see that it is really affecting a big part of our lives, even how we form relationships with other people. Tunaweza sema tu growing up, parenting nini iko sawa, but sasa ukiangalia, like there's how kuna hiyo ripple effect and how it's affecting our everyday interaction. So it's not something to disregard ama useme siyo ilisha, hiyo ni ya kitambo. No, there's how it's affecting you now, and maybe through this program, utaweza ku put the pieces together. You notice this and this and this. The result is this. Okay, amazing. So, what are some long-term effects of, let's say, the over permissive kind of parenting, the strict kind of parenting when it comes to the growing up, raising up children?
Number one, when we are talking of permissive or over permissive, this is allowing your child to do what they want without restriction, without boundaries, without giving them a guidance or showing them the pros and cons, the positive sides and the negative sides. Many parents have done this in many ways, and it has really affected their children. Number one, it leads to potential lack of discipline in life. Most of the children who have grown up under permissive parenting, they are not disciplined. They do things the way they want. And you don't come through them. When they get in marriage, they will do their... That's where nowadays they are talking of, mume wangu ni selfish. My wife ni selfish. Now that selfishness came from permissive. What they want, akitaka chipo ni chipo. Hataki kujua uko na pesa ama hauna. Now that permissiveness leads many children, and as we grow up to adulthood, we don't know discipline. Even when we are among people, when we are living among others. And this leads also to lack of boundaries. They don't know boundaries. Ataenda tu kwa wenyewe achukue kitu cha wenyewe anasema niliipenda. See, I just loved it. Hata mgeni anaweza kuja kwa nyumba, ameacha hapo simu, anakuja iko missing, mtoto anacheza naye huko bedroom.
What? Na niseme mgeni?
Yes, boundaries. No boundaries. You will find it even at the place of work. You know, Sylvia, umeacha tu pochi yako hapo, unarudi unapata, I'm missing something. Yeah,
imeenda wapi? It was right here.
Ukiuliza at the end of the day, unatafuta nini? Hiyo nilichukua, nilikuwa nataka kutumia. Boundaries haziko. Kwa sababu hata nyumbani alikuwa anaenda anachukua ya mama yake, anaenda anachukua ya sister yake.
And nothing was being said, so it's okay.
No boundaries. Number 3, there is what we call over-reliance on technology. And this is affecting even our current, I'm sorry, but current professionals. For instance, clinical officers, doctors, nurses. Ako hapo na mgonjwa. Mgonjwa anamuelezea the symptoms anaenda through, anakimbia pale kwa computer, ana Google.
Which disease is this? Hapo anamdiagnose na the findings are Google.
And that has been leading to misdiagnosis or wrong diagnosis. And it's really affecting many people. Some of these things we need to reason, because it is not part of us. We are just over relying on technology. Hawezi fanya kitu, hata kupika chakula. Hawezi tengeneza chai bila technology. Lazima weka hapo YouTube, I want to be aanze kupika naye, how to make tea. Thank you. How to make tea. Anaiweka hapo kwa simu, anaanza from step 1. Over reliance. And many people are going out of the way. Ukimwambia, ukimstukia tu mwambie leo nataka kula ugali, anasema hapo umenijaribu. You're tempting me. Nitaka kula rice. Anakupigia ugali badala ya rice. Because technology ama wifi iende off. That is the end. Mtalala njaa kwa hiyo nyumba.
Kwa sababu hakuna YouTube ya kufunza
how
to cook.
So this, it leads, and the other thing is number 4, it leads to isolation. Modern parenting has led many people to be isolated on their phone. Evening tukitoka job, wale tunatumia public means. I want you to watch the way people are in that car. They don't talk. Kila mtu atuko kwa simu. Sometimes ukifika nyumbani, sometimes enda kwa ofisi, kila mtu ako kwa laptop yake kwa simu yake.
True.
Hata wakati wa chai, mtu anakunywa chai,
but focus iko kwa gadget.
They are isolated. And this isolation as a result of modern parenting has led many people to get late in relationships. It has, number 2, led many people to have poor interpersonal relationship
with others.
And when we are talking of PR, public relation has come in. In that hata wale wanakuwa employed, if they are working on customer care or front office, vile ana handle wale wanaingia, si relational, ni kikazi. Unataka nini? Unataka kuona nani? Ako kwa simu yake. Ako kwa office fulani, ama ako busy, ama hayuko. They don't build that relationship.
True.
Isolation is very key. And it's leading many people. People are in the same house, but they are living on their own lives. People are in the same company, lakini hawajuani. Hata ukiuliza nani, mtu fulani ako wapi? Tunakuanga na mtu kama huyo kwa hii kampuni. Kwa sababu gani? Isolation. Technology. And it has also made people to be lazy. And it has led even others to obesity. Because many things are just doing when they are sitting down. And you realize that modern parenting is leading many people to more lifestyle diseases. Because they don't have, and we always tell people, they don't have time to relate with others. Their social life is wanting. After baada ya kufanya kazi, I always tell people, yes, we are focused on nuclear family. But kumbuka hapo jirani, hata si lazima uko na maziwa unaendanga supermarket unanunua, ama unaendanga unanunua wholesale. Asubuhi moja amka tu ende ununue ka packet kamoja, kwa hiyo duka ujue huyo mwenye duka anaitwa nani. You will be now networking socially, and you need these people. Modern parenting is telling people to be isolated and to be individual. Wao wako kivyao. Analima viazi hapo, anaenda shamba lake, anatoka job, amefanya shopping yote, hata soko ya kwao hawezi enda. Kwa hivyo ajulikani, hata akitokea wanasema huyu ni nani?
Anakuanga huko kweli? Anakuanga
huko na ni jirani yetu. If something happens, they don't even learn about it. And that is why when we are working through this modern parenting, we need to look at our generation. Whom are they going to marry? Who are they going to be married to? Hata wakiwa shule, they are excluded, they are isolated. Kuna cubicles siku hizi watoto ni wawili kwa cube. Another isolation. Hajui mwingine ako aje. So you realize this modern parenting and technology is taking a toll on us, and we have just to come back and now create opportunities for our children, parent them in a way that even when we are long gone, they can still build a relationship and grow in the way God intended for them.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing. I think isolation, I would say, is a topic ambayo meguzia wengi, and says they're presenting it as being introverted. But, and even when it comes to social anxiety, when it comes to even interactions, the smallest interactions, you're not even able to express yourself because you're so used to being by yourself and your gadgets that you don't even know how to have a basic conversation. And that's what we were saying, ama someone was suggesting that we come up with events whereby, ukienda event kila mtu anaacha simu kwa entrance. Simu utapewa ukitoka. Mwingie uko ndani, muongeleshane kama enzi zile hakukuwa na simu. Because people need to learn these basic skills. Communication skills, very important, professionally and even in our relationships.
But you know also, Sylvia, it has led to low self-esteem.
Yeah.
When you can't, you don't know how to express yourself to people.
Yeah.
You don't know how to. I was dealing with my client somewhere, and you know, the parent was saying, huyu mtoto wangu hata hawezi ongea na cousins wake. Huyu mtoto wangu sijui ni nini.
Yeah.
And when we sit down, this boy alikuwa anaambiwa nikuone kwa hiyo gate.
We.
Si uko na PlayStation. Si uko na kila kitu hapa. No, the child cannot express himself or herself. They cannot. Self-esteem is very low.
Yeah.
At that point, as rightly you have said, communication, they don't know how to express their point, even in class. They have the right answer,
but they don't know how to say it.
They don't know how to say it.
So they just keep quiet with it.
And that is what is happening, and people are failing even interviews. See how to see bright. They are very bright. They have the content. They have what the companies need.
Yeah.
But because of modern parenting, they don't know how to express themselves.
Yeah.
They don't know how to create a link and network and bring people on board.
Yeah.
And that is why, as you have said, watu wamefika mahali. Even in relationships, they get late in marriage. Yes.
Because of size.
Ataanzia wapi ku-approach msichana?
Itakuwa ngumu, acha ningoje until I'm ready.
Msichana aki-approachiwa atajua aje kusema. Because yeye anajua baba yake, sister yake na brother yake na auntie mwenye alibadilishwa mara 20.
But ajui anyone else beyond that point. Oh, that is very, very sad.
Yeah.
Okay. And what, when it comes to the parenting styles, sometimes they do change with time. And zinaleta maybe confusion ama zinasaidia in the long run.
Yes.
So what is the importance of consistency when it comes to whatever parenting style a parent will adapt to raising their children?
You know, Sylvia, that brings me to when traditionally, when parents were raising their children, there were factors that brought them to make us who we are. Number one, they were very intentional.
Yeah.
That intentionality of parenting is very key. So that we get to that point of what we want, the goals we want to see, the kind of a person we want to see in our children is what we should instill into them. Wow. And one of it is on discipline values. Discipline should be just number one thing when we are bringing up these children. Number two, we have what we call communication. It will help us. And authority also.
Yeah.
Unajua, and I'm so sorry to say this, but the truth is this.
Yeah.
Even in marriage today, who is the authority figure? Is still God the authority? Is still, does a man has a voice? Does a mother, a wife has a voice?
In that family.
Because when we lack that, at the end of the day, you'll find our parenting as it is evolving to get there. Yeah. We might have children, but what kind of children?
Yeah.
What quality? It's not about the quantity. It is the quality of the child.
Yeah.
It is not how well educated. It is what kind of education.
Yeah.
Is it worthy to support the family, to support the society? And that is why when parenting is being evolved to the next generation, to the 21st century, 22nd century, to the 30th century, we need to be alive to it, that it should evolve but retain the qualities, the discipline, the authority, the communication styles, the reality of the way the life is. Because there are those just things that technology is not going to help us go through. We have to go down on it and work on it as it is, as an individual. Yes.
So the parents need to make sure that they are in the place of authority.
Yes.
Because we've heard of situations whereby the child anasema nini to happen.
Yes.
Ama has a very big influence on the decisions that will be made in that house.
Yes.
So that one kuna shida mahali.
Even a meal. Mtoto akisema dadi leo atukule ugali. Tunataka kula pizza. Now who is the authority?
Yeah.
And that leads us also even to the educational approach. The way parenting styles are evolving, how we educate our children means a lot. How? Because sometimes, have you heard about homeschooling?
Yeah. It's a new
People
concept.
are now homeschooling. I love homeschooling.
Yeah.
It is good. But when they are going to interact with who? Wata-interact na nani?
Yeah.
Remember, when these children get together and they play, their values, they learn from one another.
Yeah, true.
We are building. Yes, there is an age. Kuna wale wako maybe in a condition, they need just homeschooling.
Yeah.
But homeschooling is good. But to our environment, to the future of this child, it needs to get to a point on how we approach it. As we evolve through, education should also take a center stage. Don't just neglect your child's education. Follow up. What are they learning? Now, as you have mentioned about the STEM subjects, nowadays when people are going for careers, they don't go to choose a career according to their performance. They don't choose according to performance. They are choosing according to their hobbies.
Yeah, what they love doing.
What they love doing, what they find it good.
Yeah.
What they enjoy doing. And when they go to that profession or that career and they love it, whatever happens, the turbulences of career-wise, it will not throw them out. And that is why we need to bring them on board as we walk through the evolvement of parenting.
Wow.
Yes.
And even as we are talking about modern parenting, how can a modern parent be permissive or allow their children the chance for them to speak up, give them the freedom to be children and to grow up and still maintain that authority? Ile nikisema kitu kwa nyumba, it has to happen.
We have to create a balance. There must be, as I mentioned about collaborative, you need to give reason to these children.
Yeah.
I have learned with my time of working with children, especially under 13 years and even teenagers, I realized children, when you reason with them, they think very well and they can understand so well. Never assume that children don't understand what you are saying. That is the perception, and it's a false perception. Many parents think. Uyo mtoto mdogo, hata mwenye ako 3 years, ukimwambia this thing works like this, mweleze, and it has a side effect, that child will understand. So let us create that room. As much as we are permissive, let us remain. We always say, be as firm as brass, but remain as soft as cotton or velvet.
Wow.
At the same time, as you affirm the authority, be very accommodative. Bring this child on board. Number 2, create time for your children. Create time for these children. Sawa, uko na bidii, unaenda China, unaenda Europa, unaenda Qatar, unaenda South Africa, unatafuta pesa, it is okay. But unatafutia nani? Who will manage this money? If you don't have time to bring up this child and help this boy or girl to manage these finances, you are as well looking for money that is vanity. Haitakusaidia wewe na haitasaidia mtu mwingine. Kwa sababu gani? We don't have time with our children. And I'm so sorry. I want to speak to the parents who are watching this program. Our children are now going back to school. And my question to you is this. For these almost 5 weeks they have been at home, how long have you spent time with your child? Wengine even during vacation ndio wamepereka watoto kwa children, sijui daycare, wamewapereka waende wakae kwa shosho. How much do you know your child? Because many parents are neglecting their children. They are investing a lot in their education, but they are not investing a lot in their emotional balance and their relationship wise. So as a parent, take a moment, as much as you are busy on your schedules, kufanya kazi, hata kama wewe ni mhubiri, uko na mikutano, create time for your child. Because many children are suffering from what we call parental love. Fatherly and motherly love. Hawajui upendo wa baba na mama. Washirika wanajua, Pastor Charles ni baba kwetu. Do my boy or daughter know what it means a fatherly love? Managers, kampuni inajua you are a good manager, you are like a father. Huwa nikienda sometimes unapata mtu akiretire wanasema, our father is like a father leaving this company. Can your children say the same words? That you are a father to them, or they just see you as a father to others, but you are not parenting them, you are not giving them time. So parents should create time for their children. In this modern time, watu wanakimbia usiku na mchana, hakuna mtu ametosheka na pesa. Mtu akiwa nayo anataka zaidi. But with your children utasikia mtu anasema nataka watoto wawili. Nataka tuwe na watoto 4. Sitaki watoto zaidi. And at the end of the day, Kwa nini ushibe watoto na usishibe mali? Why?
True.
Kama unashiba watoto, washibishe pia na huo upendo. Don't ignore them. Don't neglect them.
Yeah,
create a room for them. Bring them. Hata sahi watoto wakienda shule, usiambie mama sasa we peleka watoto wako. Go with that child. Enda kama wazazi wawili.
Yeah.
Na ikiwezekana kama ni mama amekuwa akipeleka mtoto shule, this time style up. Useme hiyo kazi ndiye nafanya nikusomeshe. It is one day. Leo nitakupeleka shule.
Amazing.
You know, the other Sunday, one of our members in the church, I was just having a meeting with them. And this person touched me. Unajua alisema aje? Pasi leo nimepiga absent, nikuje niabudu Mungu.
Wow.
Jua ananipangia kazi Jumapili tangu Januari huu mwezi wa 4. Sijapata off ya Sunday. Leo nilisema nipige absent, nikuje church.
Wow.
I think this guy was very intentional to worship God.
Yeah.
Can we be intentional to create time for our children? Because in this modern parenting, kuna wazazi hata hawajui mtoto wao ako class gani ama grade gani.
Anamuuliza ati sasa unaenda grade?
And it's true.
Yeah.
Mwingine alisema mimi sitaki mtoto hapo akupata ma E. Kwa sababu yeye alikuwa wa ile number 1, number 2, number 3.
So you have to match up.
So the child was saying, Daddy, CE, in exceeding excellence.
There's been a change in system.
When was the last time I check homework ya mtoto? They don't have time.
I want to understand how the system works.
Yeah, anaona tu ni ma E. Na mtoto na Daddy, CE, exceeding excellence. And you know, exceeding expectation. Na sasa mtoto anaanza kufundisha baba yake. And you look at this guy like, where have I lost it?
Yeah,
we don't have time. So in this modern parenting, create time for them and we will get there.
Wow, yes. Amazing.
Yeah.
So we are learning more about modern parenting style and how it affects our everyday living, how it affects how we form our relationships. And we're getting the chance to learn so much. Modern parenting is not just that it's something light, something to take lightly. It has so much depth in it and it's shaping our society. So we need to make sure that we are looking at it from all angles so that we can get to understand more about how it works and how we can maybe tame it so that we can be able to have healthy relationships with those around us. Now we're going to take a very quick breather right here, but we'll be coming back shortly, so don't go too far.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Praise the name of the Lord. My name is Reverend 𝗍𝗍𝗍𝗿𝗍𝗍𝗍, Senior Pastor, Stable Anchor Church, and also the General Secretary for the National Prayer Committee. I want to take this opportunity to welcome each one of us to this great meeting, Kenya Destiny Prayer Conference, that will be in Kasarani, from the 30th of April to the 2nd of May at Kasarani Indoor Arena. This is a great meeting hosted by the National Prayer Committee, led by our director, Apostle John Kimani William. We'll be having a dynamic minister, a seasoned prophet, Apostle Emmanuel Kure from Nigeria. And we would like you to come and be part and parcel of what God is doing in this season at this time. We'll be praying for our nation. We'll be interceding for the destiny of Kenya. And we want to welcome all believers of all walks of life and churches from Kenya and across. Let's come and pray and intercede for our nation. So please find your way to Kasarani Stadium, and the Lord will be able to bless you. Our meetings will be beginning from 8 a.m. in the morning all the way to 6 in the evening. We'll be having also morning glories at the same place, and you are invited and you are welcome, and the Lord will be with you. Amen.
Nestled just 11 kilometers from Nakuru town along the Njoro Road, Bridgewater Primary and Junior Schools offers a unique learning experience in a peaceful and conducive environment. Our dedicated staff ensures that every child receives the attention they deserve with a small student-to-teacher ratio that enhances individualized learning. With state-of-the-art science and computer laboratories, your child will have access to modern learning resources that prepare them for a bright future. We provide ample space for recreation and rest with a large playground for physical activities and clean, spacious dormitories with 24-hour resident matrons ensuring your child's safety and well-being. Every learner is provided with enough textbooks in all learning areas, ensuring they all have what they need to succeed academically. Transport is available, making it easy for both day and boarding students to access the school. Your child's safety is our priority, with a secure environment to ensure peace of mind for every parent. Bridgewater Primary and Junior Schools is committed to maintaining a clean environment and providing a reliable water supply sourced directly from our own borehole. At Bridgewater, we offer affordable school fees without compromising the quality of education. Join us today and give your child a brighter future. For more details, contact 0727 070 076 or 0752 730 715. Bridgewater Primary and Junior Schools, where your child's journey to success begins.
Pre-filled cups with wafer and juice.
In remembrance of him, do this as often as you drink it, in remembrance of me. These powerful words from Scripture remind us of the significance of Holy Communion. Communion Elements brings you pre-filled communion cups, prepared with altar juice and a wafer, all in one safe and sealed single serving cup. Perfect for churches, congregations of any size, home fellowships, small groups, or even personal devotion. Ordering is easy. Simply call or WhatsApp us on 0799 988 371. That is 0799 988 371. You can also find us on social media, Communion Elements, or visit our website at holycommunionelements.com. That is holycommunionelements.com.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Amazing. Welcome back from that very short break. Remember, this is a relationship talk show with Miss Sylvia Wanja, and today we are discussing about modern parenting style, and with us we have Reverend Charles Musambai. We are having a very amazing time. We're getting to learn so much and understanding how modern parenting styles are affecting us even in later life and how we form relationships with others. So it's not a small matter, a matter that we can say haina uzito sana, kwa sababu it's really affecting our society at large. So we went to the streets and we asked a few people about their interactions when it comes to being raised by their parents, and we asked them whether they would also raise their children the same way their parents raised them. So let us get to hear what people have to say concerning this particular topic about growing up, about parenting. So let us get the vox pops.
Mimi naweza taka mtoto wangu alelewe vile mimi nililelewa. Mimi nililelewa kwa familia ya Kikristo ambao watu wanahofu. Tulikuwa tunafundishwa jinsi kwa kuhofu Mungu na maisha yetu. Kwa hivyo usitusi mwenzako, usiongee mambo mbaya, unajitunza. Hayo ndio mambo tulifundishwa.
Wazazi wa sasa hawezi lea watoto kwa sababu uchumi iko chini, kazi hakuna. Watu ni kuaso tu, ni kusunguka kutafuta kazi, haipatikani.
Wazazi wa kitambo walikuwa nalea watoto na heshima. Niseme watoto wa kitambo walikuwa na at least heshima kiasi. Watoto wa saa hii wamekosa adabu. That's why akikataa kusikia mzazi vile anataka, vile anasema, inatubidi tumwache ulimwengu imfunze.
Ile kitu iko pema walikuwa wanapewa discipline, at right now hawapewi sana. Sasa unapata watoto wa siku hizi kinye wanaambiwa ya mapema wanaona iko odd one out.
Okay, kwa saizi ni vile generation ina move. Manake kitambo kukuwa na mambo na phone, smartphone hazikuwa, social media ikuwa, mambo ya Facebook, ukuja kuangalia Twitter hakukuwa. Sasa unapata kijana ikiwa ako shule ama kwa mfano pale nyumbani ana group ambayo wanashare nayo. So utapata wanaingia social media, so vitu kwa zenye wataanza kuona kule ni vigumu sana mzazi kumcontrol. Manake ashakuwa addicted. Kama ni smartphone yuko na smartphone. Sasa akitembea lazima atakuwa na Google, vituko. Ndio maana unaona siku hizi mambo mengi yanatendeka, vijana wameanza wengi ni wezi, na unapata wazazi ni Wakristo, lakini kucontrol vijana wao inakuwa ngumu. Sasa ndio maana generation ya saizi imekuwa different. Wazazi wameshindwa vile wataweza control watoto wao. So mara mingi tunaweka tu kwa maombi. Maana hakuna vile utanyang'anya mtoto smartphone yake umwambie kwamba sitaki utumie. Inabidi unamwachia, lakini unaachia tu Mungu, unamwombea Mungu mwenyewe azidi kumbadilisha.
Wow, okay. So that is what they have to say about this particular topic of being raised around parenting, and unasikia wazazi wakisema from the age differences that tumeona kwa hawa watu ambao tulikuwa tumeongelesha, you can see the disparity in how they have viewed parenting their opinions about parenting. Now, maybe Reverend, we can touch on the comments that people have made concerning parenting.
Yes. The first thing is that kuna mzee hapa anasema watoto wa leo hawana adabu.
Yes.
Adabu bado equal, but the truth, I think we measure behavior depending from where we are standing. Nowadays, when you look at our generation, our watoto wenye tuko nao today, they have a place where they can discuss their issues openly with you. Hata wenyewe tu wata discuss issues even like morality. Even relationship. Kumbuka ilikuwa mwiko kwetu kuongea mambo ya mahusiano mbele ya wazazi. Lakini saa hii, wanaongea tu hata kukatiana. Wanaongea tu hata church. Nani ananifinyia macho? You know, this is our time. And it is a result of modern parenting. I like it because from my side as a psychologist and a pastor, it tends to help me to understand what is going through them, what they are going through, what is in their minds, what they are facing. But we need also, I want to speak to the parents, we need to find balance. We need to find balance between traditional parenting and modern parenting, and blend. Bring on board. We cannot throw away all the traditional parenting. We cannot say all modern parenting is wrong. But we can always find a balance to bring on board, to blend them. For instance, where we can find balance is establish clear boundaries. When the children are going out of the way, kwa mfano, nani yako na password ya Wi-Fi? There is that last viewer amesema ya kwamba watoto Facebook, TikTok, nini. Nani yako na password? Nani anawekea huyo mtoto bundles? Hao watoto hawana source of income. Ni sisi tunawekea bundles. And in modern parenting, I think that is where we get to a point of withdrawing some of the response or vitu ambavyo wanafurahia. Kwa mfano, huwa tukisema in our house, wewe ukiwa umekosea this week, si Saturday unakunywanga yogurt, si Saturday unatakanga kununuliwa pizza. So ukimess, hakuna kununuliwa pizza na hakuna yogurt. It will be helping this child to style up that there are those boundaries that when I do something wrong, there is a repercussion. As opposed to traditionally, ilikuwa ni kuwekwa kiboko na kucharazwa na kuangaliwa tena ucharazwe. We are doing the same, but we are helping them through. Number 2, according to what they are saying is, prioritize open communication. Communicate with your child. And you know, you cannot communicate with your child as a friend when you're not communicating with your wife or your husband as a friend. Na mimi huuliza couples, when did your friend turn to be an enemy? Because the way I communicate with my wife, my children are watching. Now when you begin communicating also with your children, they are relating the way you are communicating with your partner. As a mother, how do you talk to your husband?
Yeah.
As a husband, how do you talk to your wife? As parents, how do you talk to your children? Because sometimes you find that parents project to their children when they are undergoing some stresses in life or when there is a conflict between them. The only person they can project to is a child. Now at that moment, modern parenting, mtoto atakwambia, mama usiniletee hiyo ni yako na daddy. And they are very open. Si niliwaona mkigombana, sasa unanigombanisha juu mlikuwa mnagombana na mama. And you know they are so open.
Yeah, true.
That is what is happening. Unfortunately, Sylvia, this is what is happening. And they are ready to tell you the truth. Atakwambia tu hiyo sio mimi makosa yangu.
Ni yako mwende msoto huko.
Nyinyi sotini mambo yenu huko kabla tuongee, msiniingize kwa stories zenu. And you find this modern parenting, on one side it helps us to shape up as parents as opposed to the tradition, but it can also help us to go to the next level. And it can also bring us to have sanity in our homes and even as we bring them up.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And now we've talked about how the generation that we have right now of children, they are very, very vocal when it comes to how they share their emotions. And we also know about teenagers, inafukanga wakati ambapo they have, when they're going through their adolescent phase, they have emotional tantrums. Kuna wakati mwingine their feelings are all over the place. How can a parent ensure that they handle the situation in a nice way without, you know, because unaona mtu akuletea tantrum, sometimes you're tempted to kutandika vibaya sana. But now you need to get to a point where you understand that they are undergoing some changes. But how do you deal with such a situation?
When we are dealing with parenting styles, we need to also to come to a realization with understanding of the developmental stages of your child. The way you deal with a toddler is so different with the way you deal with a teenager or a young adult. Having said that, parents need to understand this. If you are absent in childhood, in a toddler's life, even to the teenager's life, this toddler, those tantrums will come even as a youth or a young adult. And when they are doing that, number one, they are just behaving in such a way to seek attention. And when they are seeking attention, the only way they can communicate to you is through those tantrums.
That's how you know what they are trying to put across.
True. And when you are not a good listener and you are not there, and that is why we said in parenting it is good to blend that authoritative and permissive so that we can have a good blend that can bring up a very sober and stable child that can cut across all the traditions and all the generations. So when the children are bringing these tantrums, they are looking for attention. As a parent, one, understand at what stage is your child is. Some of these tantrums are not just tantrums. There is what we call a deficiency in their development. Maybe there's something they are lacking. Maybe according to their development, they are undergoing something. Understand their hormonal working values. At teenagehood, a teenager will like to identify with so and so figures. And when they are looking for identity, if you don't understand as a parent, you will always go against their norm. They will fight you. Watavaa kama mtu fulani. Wataongea kama mtu fulani. Even they will just mimic you as a parent. Ukiwa mkali bila unatoanga sauti.
Unawakuta wakifanya the same thing.
Kwanza wanaongeleshana huko kitchen ama kwa sink. Hiyo venye unafanyanga ukiwafanyanga. So if you are a parent who doesn't understand at their stage, utasema hii nyumba sasa mimi ndio mmekuwa unawatandika, but they are just acting it out. It is their stage. Understand what they are going through. Be there to support them. Number 3, create a room for them. Help them, sit down, talk. Waambie ni nini mnaonanga kwa hii nyumba, kitu gani haikiendangi poa. Na ukuwe honest without judging them. Just be honest to listen to them. Listen what because they have also wako na akili ya kufikiria. They have their reasoning scope. Allow them to speak out. You know, the other day I went to church and we deal with our teenagers on Saturdays. And so I'm in the church, praise and worship are coming. I always like being there when they're doing their practice and all that. And the teenagers are through with their discussion. And then one teenager, ninaenda kuwasalimia nikamwambia, how has been your day? We are good. And then one teenager tells me, Pasi, ebuka hapa tuko na maswali.
Okay. We have questions. And
they begin asking me serious questions on relationship, on faith, and I'm there unprepared without anything. And I was telling God, help me next time. I'll come prepared.
They ambush you.
They just ambushed me. What was the reason of that ambush? They wanted the answers, and they knew this is the right time we can approach this man, and he will tell us the reality. Because if you don't give your children the right answers, they will get wrong answers from somewhere else. Parents, please create time. This generation, understand at what stage is your child. If you miss that child in teenagehood or in toddler, answer could throw tantrums akiwa 25, akiwa 26, akiwa university. And at that time you will find you are not accommodating it, because you will find that mtoto amekuwa lakini ana behave kama mtoto mdogo. Because you was not present at that time. It is always good in these times and seasons and of age. We need to work through and create a moment for them, listen to them, give them an open platform to discuss, create that open forum, a topic to discuss. Let them come up with it, and don't force them or impose on them. Give them a chance to reason through. And if they ask questions, give them the answers. And if you don't know the answers, don't be Superman. Don't be super answer person. Wambie hiyo tuombe ama tutafute, tuta research, nitawambia. They also know. They also, hata wengine wanakuuliza na ni watoto wako. Wanakuuliza na wameenda kwa internet, wanajua jibu yenyewe kwa internet. So wanakupima tu.
Waone kama unajua.
Kama dadi yako game yake iko juu ama ako juu down. And at that moment you will find you can get in a trap that you could have avoided. Create time for your children. Have a moment of talking. Let them open up freely. Because if you create friendship with your children, at the end of the day, they will know you not just as a father or a mother. They will know you as a father who is also a friend. And in case of anything kibaya kitoke, they can trust you that you are honest and you will talk to them without hiding anything.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing. So maybe we can prompt the question one more time, the question that we are discussing today, so that you can send in your feedback. And the question that we are asking today is, would you raise your children the same way your parents raised you? Would you raise your children the same way your parents raised you? Share with us, Tuambie, from your own experience, the way you were raised, would you also raise your children in the same way? Okay, amazing. So maybe we can pick a few questions from you guys, ndo tusifanye ile kitu venye tunafanyaga kama kawaida. So kuna mmoja hapa anasema, hello, kindly ask the guest what to do if you come from a tribe where boys after boys after circumcision are isolated in their own house and mothers are not allowed to enter into their rooms. I have been monitoring the boy and entering his house secretly, but I am learning strange things, and the problem is I can't share with my husband. And one time I called my son and we talked generally without revealing my evidence, but since that time he has started locking the room. Okay. And I said, how do I handle the situation? Kindly help.
Wow. That is very true. When we are taking these children who have undergone circumcision during that ceremony, the reason why we separate them to that room is to give them chance for recovery. During the recovery process, it helps them concentration. And nowadays, many parents, and I want to thank God for Apostle Kimani, our director, and even Mom and the pastoral team. They are now bringing children on board. During circumcision, we bring them on board. After those 3 weeks, when wanapoenda nyumbani, they involve us as counselors. Even parents from other churches, they are coming on board. And they are allowing us as counselors, after going through the cut in the hospital, they bring on board counselors who take through these children. During that period, we allow them to heal graciously, and in a way, they understand what they are going through. The minimum we say it's 21 days. After that moment, I always tell, and maybe some parents are watching, and this church has given me an opportunity. I thank God for Pastor Ruth. Through her, we have got several parents whom we have parented their children through that circumcision period. And when we talk to them, we tell them, your sister doesn't stop to be your sister after you're circumcised. Your mom doesn't stop to be your mom after circumcision. Your father doesn't stop to be your father after circumcision. And through that period is what we take them through a process of counseling, and we guide them also on relationship matters. Because if they continue to hide like that, watajipata wamefanya makosa, na kama tungefungua mlango wa kuwaelezea during the process, hawa watoto wangejua hawastahili kufanya hivi na hivi na hivi ndivyo wanastahili kufanya, na watatoka wakiwa a whole person. So we target to have a holistic. If that lady is finding it hard to talk to the father, there must be something that is holding them. Tradition. They are still dealing with their children. Unfortunately, Sylvia, many believers, many Christians have synchronized our traditions with Christianity. Kanisani tunaita pastor akuja aombee mtoto, lakini vituko zenye tumewafundisha ni vituko za mila na desturi yetu. So unapata huyu mtoto anachanganyikiwa, which side should I hold? And when they grow up, wakifika huo umri, anakuwa in a dilemma. Anashindwa nitaenda upande gani? So I'm encouraging parents, especially at that moment ya circumcision, bring a professional on board. Just the way you have taken your child to the hospital, they have done their part. Bring now a professional who will help you to work with your child and instill the right behavior, so that when they come out of it, they will not mess up and they will live a victorious life.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
I hope you have received that, and yes, it's not a problem. It's not an issue that cannot be fixed.
It can.
And with God's guidance, you're going to be able to navigate it. Okay. We have Susan Bogo anasema tuned in. I love the topic. Kuna Michelle Mwani anasema thank you so much. It has been like that, and we have to turn around for the sake of tomorrow. Anasema timely topic. As a parent, I really needed this. Kuna Francis Monte anasema thank you for this show. I'm getting to learn a lot. Kuna Nelly Wangwe anasema let's create time for our children for them to benefit in life. And then kuna Sarah Mwangi anasema I am following closely and I am learning a lot from this particular topic. Amazing. Maybe even as I look at some of the comments that are still coming in, maybe Reverend, we can talk about single parents in this particular scenario who are solely tasked to raise these children. So maybe in their case, what can they do to make sure that even as they're adapting to the modern parenting style, they're still making sure that they are filling in the shoes for the parent who is missing, be it the mother or the father? How can they do it effectively?
Thank you for that question, and because it's very cardinal in this. Parenting doesn't just happen to both parents. Single parents have a role to play. Every single parent, and when we are talking about single parent, we are not talking about single mothers only. We have single fathers also who have daughters and sons. We have single mothers who have daughters and sons. What happens is this: bring on board your relatives, the extended families. Every time, if your child is in boarding school, allow this child to interact with the uncles, with the grandparents, if it's a grandpa or a grandma, those who are there, with your cousins, so that they will help you. They will help you to bring up this child, to parent, especially when the father is not present. Even in the church environment, allow your child to interact with other children and let them identify a leader in that child, pastoral figure, maybe a leader in the youth department, maybe even in children's church, the children's pastor, even in school. Allow your children to identify with the parents who have the values that you would like to have, with the teachers who have values that equate to parenting, especially if it's a male teacher, he has qualities you love. Always direct your child that ukikuwa na swali uliza teacher fulani. If you are a mother who is a single mother, the challenge comes when you have bitterness in you. Na hii imefanya wazazi wengi wafungie watoto wao kukua in a way that they can be collective and holistic in their growth. Maybe you was hurt through the process of relationship and you have the children. I always tell my clients, and I want to talk to our viewer, don't generalize. That was just one. That man was just one. That lady was just one. We have wonderful mothers, including your mom, including your sister, including your brother, including your father,
and your aunties.
Their cousins, their aunties, the uncles. Can you equate all these people with only one person alikuhat in life? Akalidi ukwe single mother or a single father. Do not generalize. Deal with case by case basis. Through that you will find healing, and you will also give a chance to your child to grow in a way ambayo hatakuwa na uchungu kama uko nao. Most of the time, parents who are singles hawataki watoto wa experience the love of a father kwa sababu pengine baba yake alimuumiza. I encourage them. There are many fathers who are good. Please give your child a chance to explore na learn by himself or herself. Usimwambie wanaume ni wabaya. When this girl gets to 50s na hajaolewa, and then umwambie kwa nini hujapata mchumba? Mama ulisema wanaume ni wabaya. Because it was out of bitterness and pain, haukumruhusu learn in his own way. Be there to correct, to guide, to protect, to show. But at the end of the day, allow them to make their personal decision. And this comes also because there is an age they get. Wanataka kujua baba yao ni nani. Wanataka kujua mama yao ni nani. Do not deny them that opportunity. Sababu kile yule mzee mlikosania, pengine mtoto hausiki. Let this child also learn his father in his own way. Let this child learn his mother in his own way. Sababu yeye pengine hakuhusika popote. Anaweza kuja kugundua mama yake is the best mother in this world. Baba yake is the best dad in this world. But because of the bitterness we have harbored in our hearts, we close out for children. So when we are parenting, especially we who are watching this program and you are a single parent, allow your children to explore. Ni wewe aliumiza sio mtoto. Ni wewe mlikwaruzana. Maneno hayo yalikuwa mazito, but allow your child to learn. Also give a room for other parents around you to support you in parenting this child. Don't continue growing that bitterness, because hiyo uchungu itaendelea na itagrow, na huyu mtoto ataambukiza kizazi chake. Na ninaamini wewe baba ama mama hauwezi furahia kizazi chako kikiwa kizazi cha uchungu. So we need to find a place in our hearts to forgive, to mend our differences, but allow our children to explore in their own way. If they find this father is so bad, it is upon them. But it is not upon us now, single parents, to feed them the dark side of their parents, yet they have also the good side. Yes.
Wow, amazing. So I think that is very, very important, that we need to seek support. I know there's that feeling, yeah, I can do it on my own, but it's okay to seek support from the extended family, from the church, from the school, all these institutions. They are there so that we can be able to help each other grow. So don't shy away from asking for help so that you can be able to raise your child in a way that is going to be pleasing even to the Lord, okay? Amazing. So, and also you've mentioned something that is very important about parents who tend to overstep, or they tend to really want to control their children's lives. Maybe we can touch on that, and how parents, as much as they're trying to adapt to the modern style of parenting, they should also give their children space, and how much space is too much space, and is freedom good when it comes to raising a child?
How parents should give their children a chance.
Yeah.
You know, how free should a child be free? And how far should a child go from the parent? This is why when we talked about modern parenting, parents should always ensure the connection between them, the child, and the society remains constant. That connection is very important. Remember, Sylvia, you and I, and our viewers, the paradigm of time we lived in, it's so different from where we are today.
Very true.
It will be unfair for me to use my past to instill in my children that they should still remain there. For instance, wengine tulikuwa tunatembea bila viatu. Today uambie mtoto tembea bila viatu. It will be an issue. Parents should guide their children, not decide for them. Please, my dear viewer, be in a position to guide your child, to counsel your child, to give them the positive and the negative. Don't decide for them. Because if you decide for them, the repercussion, anything that will happen to your child, atakuwa akisema ilifanyika juu mam
alisema.
Mam ndiye alisema, mimi si kutaka. Daddy ndiye alisema, mimi si kutaka. Don't be very far from your child. And don't be too close to a point you nose around in everything they do. Sometimes it is good to watch. The Bible says in the book of James, be quick to hear, but slow to anger and slow to speak. You will see a lot of things happening in your child's life. But how are you dealing with them? We Christians pray. Muslims, they have their own way of dealing it. Hindus have their own way. Sikhism, traditionalists have their own way of dealing them. When you are dealing with your child, be careful, especially when they are now getting out of teenagehood to youthful life. Create a rapport first before you hit the problem. Create the relationship. You know, Sylvia, you can talk to me close enough because we are friends.
True.
If you notice something in me that is wrong, it will be easy for you to tell me because we have created a rapport and you are a friend. But kama hatujajenga urafiki, hawezi kuniambia. Na hiyo ndiye inafanyika pia kwa watoto wetu. Parents should begin to be friends to their children. Na ukiwa rafiki wa mtoto wako, atakuambia kila kitu. So tuwe karibu na watoto wetu na tusikuwe karibu mpaka tunaanza kupoint things that ambazo wao ndio wangetuambia kwanza. Ukianza kupoint, watabuild what we call a defensive wall.
To put you out.
They'll put you out. And when they put you out, you are on your own. When you are on your own, that is it. That is it.
There's a problem altogether.
So at the end of the day, you find that this is a problem that has been happening, and many parents are blaming their children. And at the end of the day, you realize some things are not working well. Yes.
Okay, kumekuwa na issue technical kidogo hapo, so you can bear with that.
KPLC wamekuwa
kufanya ile kitu. But regardless, this particular message must keep going forward because it's a very, very important message that we really need to focus on. So hata kukiwa na technical issues kidogo, lazima iendelee, but we apologize for that, and our technical team is working on that. Tunajua kuna vitu zingine zinakuanga beyond us, but we keep moving. Amazing. So Maybe I can look if we have another question. We have, oh, okay. We have Modern Sama. Hi, Mama Neema from Kilifi. I'm being blessed with the show. This is what we as the present parents need on a daily basis, especially we who are raising teens and adolescents. They can't be like us. They're outspoken. They need a lot of attention. They need to be explained to in details. We're bringing such topics frequently, especially these times when technology is so loud. Stay safe. Thank you for that, Mama Neema. We appreciate you taking your time to try follow through with this particular show. And ni furaha pia kwetu wakati ambapo the show is impacting the people, the viewers back at home in a positive way. Okay, that is the intention, to be able to nurture and grow our relationships in all angles, in all areas, whether romantic, whether work related, whether all forms of relationship. We need to make sure that they are okay, kwa sababu hapo ndo kwenye mtu huwa anakamatiwa mara nyingi. Okay, the relationships that we have. Kuna Mwangi Wairagwa anasema nice. May God help us. It's really bad these days. Parents are leaving their kids that they may be raised by Facebook and other platforms. Wow, okay. And Mildred anasema listening and following. Sarah Mulongo anasema watching and following. Kuna Margaret Janet pia anasema watching and following. Wow. Yes. Maybe as we are coming to the end of this particular show, Reverend, you can share with us and tell us what advice would you give to the parents who are watching at home about the modern parenting style? How can they adapt it in how they raise their children, discipline them, but also love them, be strict and also give permission? How can they do that?
To the parents who are watching this program, I want to let you know that modern parenting is real. Modernization is here with us. Yeah. Actually, it's growing worse.
Over time.
Technology is growing very fast, and it's here with us to stay. I would request that parents understand their children from what perspective, at what level of growth, at what level of developmental stages they are. Number two, parents should seek help. And seeking help to rear your child is not a weakness. We have psychologists. I'm the county secretary for Nakuru County for Kenya Counselors and Psychologists Association. Wow. And in every sub-county, we have counselors, even in hospitals, even in churches. In this country, in this whole country, in 47 counties, we have counselors. Let us approach these people. Let's go for professional help. You will just give a certain amount as a fee just to support them, but let's seek professional help. Number three, parents, your time of growing up is different from the times our children are growing up. Please create time for your child. Get to understand. Maybe in your time ulikuwa unaenda kwa jirani ama mambo yako unamalizia huko. But now this is the highest time you create a bond, a strong bond between you and your child. And Sylvia, allow me to speak this now to the children. We, the children, if you are watching this program with your child, or you are a teenager, or you are watching online, I want to challenge you. Your parent has also challenges and he have things that he's going through. He's not a super parent. He has his or her own weaknesses that he's going through. He has his own challenges in life. Even maybe at the place of work, try to understand your dad or your mom. Sometimes the way he left in the morning to work, it is not the same way he's going to come back in the evening. Try to understand your parents. Number two, help your parent to understand you. Don't speak words figuratively. Be open. You can talk to them. If you find it is hard to talk to your parent, I always encourage young people, just write to them. Take a piece of paper, write to your dad. They will read. Especially when it comes from their child, they will read it and they will respond to it. If you don't have a good ground to talk to your dad, find somebody close, but make sure the parent is the first person in your life that can make you or can break you. You can never get anywhere without your parents' blessings.
Wow.
And I want to tell you the truth. There are blessings from God, but there are more blessings from our parents.
Wow.
Create time with your parent. Find time, talk. If maybe you are hurt by your parent, take time, let them cool down, let them stabilize. Go back to them, speak to them. Wambie, daddy, mom, uliniongelesha hivi na sikusikia poa. They are also human beings. They have senses, they have feelings. They know what you go through. Speak to them. And at the end of the day, you will find you are building a collaborative family that will be raised to the best that God intended for you.
Wow.
I want to encourage the parents who are there. You are struggling, especially single parents. The opportunities are there. We have many people, many children who are raised by single parents. They are struggling in relationship, even at the place of work, because they didn't have somebody to mentor them. Bring them on board. Find a psychologist, find a counselor, find professionals, talk to a pastor, talk to someone you trust. They will walk with you through this journey so that the future of this child may not be the same as yours. They may come up to be a wonderful generation that will support you even as you grow up.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yes.
Those are very, very amazing words from Reverend. Maybe I can take a look at some few feedbacks here, and then we can get relation tips, and then we call it a wrap, okay? And did you know as well? Kuna moja nasema, thank you, Pastor, for being a father to us, and we are being blessed as a family, okay? And anasema ni Naomi from Gilgil. Afu kuna mwingine anasema, hi, my name is Joseph, and I'm enjoying the show and learning a lot. Say hi to Rev. He's a blessing to me, and at one time he helped me when I was going through a difficult time in my marriage. Amazing. Mwingine anasema, hello, okay. Moja anauliza, how do I handle a stepson who is a teen since his behavior is not good at all? We will be looking at that shortly. Alafu mwingine anasema, Lucy from Donholm, yes, I would raise them the same but still incorporate modern parenting todo we. And I did the question that we asked today about whether they would whether you would raise your child the same way you were raised. And I traditional parenting cannot apply in all areas. So yes, she would still raise them the same way, but also incorporate modern parenting, because traditional parenting kuna some areas kwenye imepitwa na wakati kidogo. So amazing. Thank you for that. So maybe Reverend, as we wind up, we can touch on this, how to raise a stepson who is a teen and the behavior is not good at all.
Number one, this at teenager is where they are now begin to realize who is their real mother and who is their real father and who is not in their lives. The reaction they are doing is they are reacting because they are finding a new person in their life. The best thing is, if he's a stepson, help this son. There is questions they are not being answered. Help this son, sit down with them. Maybe the father can help. Because maybe every time, maybe this lady can be supporting this son in a good way. Maybe hata anamcorrect, anamfanyia kila kitu, na huyu kijana anamuonyesha madharau.
True.
Baba ndiye anastahili kuingia in that picture, alafu asaidie ajue huyu kijana ni nini kinamsumbua. Because at that moment, I said it is identity crisis versus autonomy. They want to find the autonomy in their lives to be all over, but at the same time identify with someone. So he's trying to find himself, and the best person to help him find himself is these both parents. If it is this time, they can also answer the questions he has about maybe his mother, or maybe he's not comfortable the way he's being treated. That is the highest moment they can come in and support this boy. That boy, they may say that kwamba behavior zake ni mbaya. Remember I said, ukiona behavior ya mtoto, that throwing of tantrums, it is just seeking attention. He's just telling them, I'm also around. I want you to know that I'm around.
Need to be seen.
You know, Sylvia, there are clients who come, wazazi wanasema huyu mtoto ameenda hospitali hana kitu, msichana anaanguka mpaka anaonekana kama amekufa. Ana lose breath. Wakimpeleka hospitali hakuna kitu.
There's nothing.
When they call me on board, we go and assess the child. Naambia wazazi wao toka nje. We begin to talk to this girl, and the girl opens up and tells you, nataka watumie hizo pesa. Zenye wanipatiangi.
Really?
Yes.
So you want to fake an illness?
They fake it. especially girls. They fake a lot of things, not just illness. They fake a lot of things. So if parents cannot be there to attend to these children, you realize that they'll be struggling. Watamuona huyu mtoto ame misbehave, huyu mtoto si mzuri, but there is something they are missing. This child, this boy, this girl, kuna kitu anajaribu kucommunicate, but we are not having listening ear to listen to him. Tumemnickname ama tumempatia an emblem ya kwamba huyu ni sumbua. So tukimuita huyu ni sumbua, at that moment hata kama ako genuine, tutaonanga tu usumbufu wake. So they need to bring him on board, involve him, have a round table talk, open up, let him share with them his feelings without judging, without grudging. They should not even get to a point wa muonyeshe ya kwamba you are a stepson, una behave hivi juu ni stepson, you can put off and it will kill this boy. Let them help him understand that you are not different from this child. You're not different from these other children. You're not different from any of us. You are just part of this family. And then he will just come on board at a open up. And if all goes worse, let them find a psychologist.
Wow.
Let them bring a professional on board at Saidia, and they will talk with the child. Yes.
Amazing. Wow. We're running out of time, but maybe we can get the relationships even as we are closing up. Let us get to know what Joyce Ndeso is teaching us about modern parenting styles and how they affect our relationships. So let us get relationships.
Hello and welcome to Real Asian Tips, and today we are going to talk about modern style parenting. Here are a few tips you might consider while parenting in the modern times. Number 1, practice gentle discipline. Focus on teaching rather than punishing. Use natural consequences, redirection, and calm conversations to guide behavior, helping kids learn from their mistakes. Number 2, prioritize emotional intelligence. Encourage your child to name, express, and regulate their emotions. Model empathy and validate their feelings. This helps build strong communication and self-awareness. Number 3, set boundaries with respect. Clear boundaries are important, but modern parenting encourages explaining the why behind the rules. Involve your child in discussions and problem solving to guide mutual respect. Number 4, foster independence and confidence. Let your child try things on their own considering age appropriateness. Even if they fail, support their choices and let them lead sometimes to build confidence and resilience. Number 5, stay connected and present. Be emotionally available and present even during busy times. Quality time, free of screens and distractions, strengthens the parent-child bond and helps your child feel secure. This has been Real Asian Tips, and my name is Joyce Ndeso.
Amazing. So that was the relation tips with Joyce Ndeso. She's given us very important tips that even as parents we need to incorporate in the way we raise our children. And nilisema ya kwamba doesn't matter if you don't have a child right now, but later on you're going to have children. So siweze accumulate your knowledge na insight size. Ndio hata wakati ambapo watoto watakuja, you'll sit and think, oh, by the way, Rev said this and this about this and this. If a child does this, I can handle it like this. Okay? Amazing. So even as we're winding up, Reverend, for someone maybe who would like to talk to you, who would like to seek guidance from you, how can they reach you?
Yeah, you can reach me on my number 0723 465 999. 0723 465 999. I'm sorry because there are those who have been, I want to thank for Kingdom Seekers Fellowship. I've been through the pastoral team. I've been attending to some clients here, but currently you can now find me at a Vicar's house here in Nakuru, which is just next to the former Nakumat on second floor under Midal Group. And also you can find us at KAG Springs of Life Chapel in Gilgil, just next to PGTI, St. Patrick's Primary School.
Yeah.
You can come there every Wednesday, and Saturdays I attend to clients there.
Yeah.
And also in Naivasha, you can find me at Ndonyo Hospitals, 𝗠cie Maisha, next to Cooperative Bank.
Wow.
That is where I always attend to our clients that visit us in the hospital in Naivasha. So we want to encourage each one of you to come on board.
Yeah.
You can call me, you can book an appointment at a certain fee, and we'll be there. We'll be grateful to support you, even through parenting, not just parenting, but other life issues that you are going through.
Yeah.
We are there to work with you and to support you to where God wants you to be.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing.
Thank you
so much, Reverend.
Thank you.
This was a really amazing show, and we really appreciate you taking time off your schedule to come be with us. From what you have shared with us, you are in so many places. So even just creating the time for the few hours that we've been here, just to be here, we do not take it for granted. We really do appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Sylvia, for having me.
Yes.
And to the whole crew and the management, I'm so grateful. This is part of our home.
Yes.
This is actually home.
Amazing.
I'm so grateful when I'm here in these studios. I'm so grateful because life are being changed.
Yes.
God bless you, and to Apostle and his wife, Reverend Naomi.
Yeah.
We are so grateful for giving us an opportunity to serve the generation and the world through this media.
Wow.
May God bless them and the management.
Awesome.
Amen.
Amazing.
Yes.
Thank you. So that brings us to the end of today's show. Maybe we can wind up with Did You Know, so that we can be able to finish up with the show that we are having today. And yes, I would say it was a really, really amazing show, and I trust and hope that you have learned and you have picked something important that you're going to use even as you continue with your everyday life, okay? It's something that you can share with others. You can share this information and knowledge with others. It's going to help you in the long run, okay? Amazing. So that brings us to the end. May God bless you. May God keep you. May God be with you. And again, if you have any requests, any song requests, you can send them our way, and we'll be having a chance to play them right here. And yes, pia, alafu, let us not take therapy kama a joke. Ama, let us not, bado kuna hiyo notion ya kwamba therapy is just a waste of time, okay? Please, let us try to demystify ama come out of that thought ya kwamba therapy is not important, oh nini. A lot of I've even people say about, oh, generation, they're just attention seekers. They're so many negative things, but let us try understand them and where they are coming from, okay, and the situation surrounding them. And let us try seek help, professional help, okay? Mambo ikiumano, siseme, oh, wacha tu ikae tu wenye iko, no. We have a part to play, so let us play that part so that everything becomes well. Anyway, so that is it right here at the Relationship Talk Show. My name is Sylvia Wanja. See you guys next week, same place, same time. And this is the Did You Know that you're having today. Giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people. Wow, yes, because they're tall. They're tall. They act like lightning arresters, but that is a really, really nice fact. 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people. An amazing fact that you can share with friends, you can share with family. So don't shy away from sharing that particular fact with the people around you, okay? Amazing. So that is it right here. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day from wherever you're watching from, and I'll see you guys next week, same place, same time, with another amazing, amazing topic that is in line with relationships that we're going to tackle so that we can build and form healthy relationships each and everywhere we go, each and everything that we do. When our overall mental well-being, if we have healthy relationships, itasaidia in a very, very great way, okay? So salimia manyako karibu na wewe, compliment them, tell them they look nice, be kind, don't be mean, okay? Share kindness everywhere you go and with everyone who's around you. So my name is Sylvia Wanja. I'll see you guys next week, but for now, enjoy the rest of your viewing. But before I go, I almost forgot. There's a meeting that is happening, national prayer meeting that is happening from tomorrow. That is Wednesday. It will be happening at Kasarani all the way to Friday, whereby it will be culminated with a kesha. So for each and every person, let us try and make our way there. If you can, wale wa Church Without Walls, ama wale wako within Nairobi and its environs, you can make your way to that meeting so that we can pray for our nation. The meeting has been organized by the Kenya's Prophetic Destiny Prayer Conference. It has been organized by the National Prayer Committee, and we're going to have hosted by Apostle John Kimani William, that is the NPC director, and we have the guest minister Apostle Emmanuel Kule from Nigeria, okay, from tomorrow all the way till Friday. So please, please, please let us make our way there from the kesha is from 9:30 p.m. and yes, Kasarani Indoor Arena, Nairobi. Okay, my country, my responsibility. It's an interdenominational meeting that is free and open to all. Kwa wale ambao hawataweza kuwa hapo physically, we can follow through online kwa sababu it's going to be live. Okay, let us pray for our country. It's our responsibility to pray for our land because again, our prosperity is directly linked to the prosperity of the land. So if we don't pray for the land, kutakuwa na shida kidogo. Ama vipi? Amazing. So see you guys next week, but for now, enjoy the rest of your viewing. Bye bye.